Hi guys, how's it going? Matt the Tomato here, and welcome to Cities Skylines. This is Portsmouth. This is the island of Portsea in England. I have successfully built on a exact height map based on Portsea Island in southern England. And this is well, I'm basically just going to give you a quick city tour. So I've not actually built this city to an exact replica. I initially tried to, and in the end, because of like the traffic mechanics and things like that, the game didn't actually work very well because of the Portsmouth has bad traffic anyway. But of course, the game mechanics on traffic, especially with the traffic manager, are actually quite heavy. And so I quickly found that when I was trying to build the replica, traffic was terrible. So in the end, I decided to go ahead and sort of build my own sort of version of Portsmouth, but with some of the main features included, and also like the districts over here. Again, the districts not very accurate. For instance, Fratton over here is not that shape at all. The University of Portsmouth, for instance, is not to the northeast of Somerstown. It is rather to the northwest. But I have included it, and I've included sort of the main areas over here that you can expect to see on Portsmouth. This whole thing over here is actually Hayling Island. I've not actually built in that area though, so I've just classed this little corner down here as Hayling Island. Right then, so let's just give you a quick city tour then. Let's go ahead and enter city mode. Right, so welcome to Pompey. So this is where we all come in, over here on the M27. This is where everybody comes in and goes out on the A27 out toward Brighton way. And over here we have Cosham. So I've made Cosham into a large industrial estate. That is why the pollution on the ground here, as you can see, is quite bad. Because this is in fact a large industrial estate over here. Because I wanted to keep my industries out of the actual Portsmouth city. So I've gone and bunged it in Cosham, so apologies to the residents of Cosham for that one. As you can see, traffic's horrendous, because in fact this is one of the only ways in and out. And it's actually the quickest way in and out, so traffic going in is actually quite bad over here. On top of the fact that there's a cargo terminal as well. So traffic's actually quite bad, although you can actually go in over this way. I built a second way in over at Bedhampton. This ridiculous intersection over here. So I have built sort of a little village that is Bedhampton out here. It's got a station, which is actually true. It does have a station. It doesn't actually have two though. I've built two over here. This one is probably the more accurate one, but there's actually no station down here. But it seemed reasonable because I could have built a footbridge, I suppose, but it seemed reasonable to put one down here for these guys. So yeah, that is Cosham over here. There are some residences over in Cosham, not very many. If we zoom out over here, I've gone and built Port Solent. Again, another industrial site over here. The way I've built this though is if we look at natural resources, there's actually a lot of ore over here. So I've gone ahead and built a lot of ore industry because the map generation determined that there was some ore over this way. I'm not exactly sure how true that is, but that was the map generation. And Port Solent over here with just a few houses and generic residences over there. So we come down the M275 over here. This is rough positioning of where the M275 is. You go over the bridge and you enter Portsmouth. Now, Tipner over here, this area doesn't actually have a forest, but again, it was the map generation. Very heavy on the forestry industry over here, so it was quite a good area to make some wood. So I decided to do that. And you enter Hilsea and North End at this top end. So just some casual residences up here, nothing particularly amazing. However, this is where all the sewage is actually exported over here. This is where the sewage goes. Technically, I think the sewage is actually go down here, and it is treated, but technically it's down here. But I wanted it at the top here because that's where the flow is. Also separates the fresh water of Portsmouth Harbour from the slightly dirtier water from Langston Harbor, which is true. That is an exact feature. We got Whale Island over here. Of course, Whale Island is actually part of the Navy. I put a few like little fishermen's ports over here to emphasise the fact that that is sort of part of the Navy and things like that. But in this case, it's actually a residential island. I've built loads of houses over there. So we move over here. We've got North End. We've got a few relatively tall blocks over here, and then we move south into Eastleigh down here. So East Nee's basically just got a whole load of curvy roads, a few tall buildings and things like that. It's got a railway station. It's actually got a couple of railway stations because I wanted to enable my people to get around a little bit more. This is not actually true. The sole railway in Portsmouth is actually this main line that comes down here. That is the sole railway that actually enters Portsmouth in real life. But I've decided to build a few extra train stations around here to enable my people to get around a little bit. A couple of them are actually doubled up over here, so just to enable different sides to access different stations. Over here we have Copner, and then we move down into the University Quarter. So I've gone ahead and built a University Quarter over here. This is the University of Portsmouth. Of course, I attend the university. So that's the main uni building over there. Of course, I had to build the science facility because that's where I am. What have we got over here? We've got public libraries, which are used by the university. I've got a few shops over here. And of course we've got the campus dorms, so you can consider those as the halls of residence, I suppose. And then we've got a couple of rentable houses, let's say, some residences over there with some footpaths and some parks and things around it. It's also got its own train station. It is the UK generic train station. So if we zoom in on this one, you can actually see the like the yellow line, which you're not allowed to cross and things like that. Basic sort of UK generic train station that you would typically find in your UK city or town. So the railway extends down through Somers Town and eventually makes it into the city of Portsmouth and Gunwharf Quays over here. I've emphasised this modular train station over here as Portsmouth Harbour Station, and as you can see there's a lot of tracks that sort of feed out into different areas of the city over here. Of course, the normal tracks actually just extend out to the east and go straight north. And I have actually drawn those tracks there. I have actually done those, but to emphasise a bit more and to help people move around, I've sort of built extra tracks that descend into the different areas of Pompey. And of course, the main feature of Portsmouth that everybody seems to remember Portsmouth as is the infamous Spinnaker Tower. There it is. We have Spinnaker Tower. Somebody made a model of it on the Steam Workshop, and I had to include it. It had to be included, of course. It has been painted now. It's actually blue at the bottom and gold at the top now, so it has actually been painted. But we got some fishermen's docks over here. We've got lots of tall buildings, and we actually have some Navy aircraft carriers over here. The USS Missouri is probably not suited, but it's a Navy ship, and I wanted to put it in to emphasise the Navy dock over here. Just no fire over there at the moment. Also got the Gunwharf Tower over here, which is used as the transport tower. If you look at it from a certain angle, it actually does look like the lipstick that it is. There we go. See, there we go, the Gunwharf Tower up there. That's actually quite snazzy. We have bad traffic, of course. This major highway doesn't actually exist. This one that runs from west to east over here doesn't actually exist, but I wanted to build a highway to get into this area because traffic is usually quite bad. I made a large roundabout over here, but since actually building this highway, a lot of people have tended to use that, and as you can see, traffic builds up pretty badly anyway. Potentially I could have gone with a roundabout in here and actually split the traffic up a bit sooner, but unfortunately that's the way it is. So we head down into more large city areas over here of Gunwharf Quays, move across to Fratton, and of course over here I have gone and built Fratton Park, the football stadium of Portsmouth Football Club. We've got the Asda that is just next door, which isn't too far away. It's actually there's actually a Tesco there now. And then we move east towards Milton over here. There's a swimming club. I can't remember exactly where that is, but I know that there's one down there somewhere. And then we move further east towards Langston Harbor. I've emphasised, I built another science facility down here, but I've emphasised that there's actually a marine station down there. It's known as the IMS, and there's a marine station down there, and there's a little harbour down the end. I've actually built a restaurant down there, and I've gone and built some more university buildings and things like that, because it is actually run by the university, so that's actually emphasised with that. And then Hailing Island over here, I've gone, that bridge doesn't actually exist, it's actually a ferry connection that goes over there, but I've gone a bit of bridge just because it's easier. And this is sort of emphasising that there are people that actually live on Hailing Island over there. The railway actually comes all the way down to Langstone over here, if only it actually did, because that would be great. And then we move towards the bottom of Portsea Island over here, and we move into Southsea. So I built the aquarium, And I've built a couple of the tall buildings. There's a servicing office down here. I've built a couple of the tall buildings that you would otherwise find. This highway does not actually extend all the way down to Southsea, but I've gone ahead and done that. The highway probably goes up to about here in real life, but I've gone and extended it down into Southsea because why not? Just better for traffic access using the game mechanics, really. We've got Clarence Pier down here. I've emphasised this with a couple of harbours because this is actually the hovercraft that goes over to the Isle of Wight. That actually leaves from Clarence Pier and that goes down over to the Isle of Wight. Which, if you zoom in enough, you can actually see across the water. Let's try and have a look over here. Right. There we go, you can just about see it over in the distance over there. There is the Isle of Wight, you can actually see it. So, Fram Park actually has garbage issues, how about that? So there we go, that's pretty much a basic tour over here. What else can we do? There's nothing built on Gosport, so this is actually Gosport Borough over here. But I've sort of limited this build to 9 tiles, as you can see over here. I've just limited it to 9 tiles because I didn't really want to push the game to its limits. My computer, although it's modern, is not actually capable of running this game at incredibly high speeds. So I've gone ahead and just sort of treed that up and just... Sorry people at Gosport, but I've kind of ignored you over there, but that's just the way it is, I'm afraid. So that's pretty much the way it is. Gone ahead and ignored Gosport. Should we go on a few trips? We can sort of look at this place sort of close up over here. The best way I like to do it, funnily enough, is actually by train. It wrecks the FPS, but I sure how like riding on one of these trains. Let's pick route number 3 over here. I can't actually remember where this goes. But let's just sort of pop in over here and let's go for a ride on the train. So let's have a look forwards over this way. And sort of, there we go, this is sort of the view from Portsmouth Harbour Station. As you look out over here, you can see lots of different things. And let's go ahead and just have a ride on this train for a little while. So I picked route number 3. I can't remember where this goes. This goes up towards Eastney area. So there's the footbridge that goes across there. We can see some wind turbines there. We don't actually have wind turbines in the middle of Portsmouth, but I love wind turbines, so I've gone ahead and built them. Right, where the hell does this go? I can't remember. Yeah, we're going towards Eastney area. So you can see the double tracks here, but then it sort of peels away. Yeah, I think we're going towards Eastney. That is the deal over here. So we've got lots of forestry. It's to emphasise that there's quite a few parks around in Portsmouth, but I've gone ahead and just sort of filled it in with trees. Actually increases the land value to enable me to get these buildings as well. Oh, it only just goes up to here, is that it? Wow, okay. I didn't actually realise that. God, my train routes suck. So where does this go now? Does it just go back? Really? Right, the solar panels over here. Wow, that's a really lame train route. Why did I pick that one? Right, okay, that's a bit silly. I didn't actually realise that that train route actually did that, but oh well. Okay, let's go ahead and pick another one. Oh, I wanted to pick that Southsea one, that would have been good. Number 2's got tunnels, so I'd ideally not like to use that one because it actually bugs the game a little bit when I do that. Right. One just appeared out of nowhere right there, so... Right, come on, I want either number 1 or number 5 ideally, or number 4. Why does that bug up? I think there's a problem with that route here. Obviously a problem with that route. Right, let's go ahead and pick number 1 over here. Right, number 1 is actually the one that goes all the way up the centre. It's the one that goes all the way up to the top, goes up through Hillsea, and where does it finish? Oh no, number 1 goes up just to Whale Island. Number 2 is actually... can't remember. I really can't remember where these routes go. So this is Gunwharf Quays over here. So the tall buildings of Gunwharf Quays. There's Gunwharf Tower. There's a few hotels over there, of course. Let's go around the bend. Sorry about the FPS, but yeah. Right. So here we go up towards the top end of Gunwharf Quays, I think. sure. Yeah, we go up to this this interchange station, and then we go up north into Tipner with this route. Yeah, we go up this way. You see the footbridges that go across, more wind turbines, and yeah, this goes up to Tipner, and that's pretty much the end of that route. Oh, why did I pause? That's stupid. So this city is actually quite prosperous. We're making quite a lot of money over here. Interestingly enough, it doesn't actually have any bus routes. I've decided to go without the bus routes. Right, so let's have a look here at actual routes. What actually is the problem with this train line here? This one here is actually really bad. Number 4, where do you go? You go down this way. Trains are coming in, so there's no problem. Oh, there's also an underground. I've actually gone and built a metro as well. You can see the green lines are where the metro actually is. I've gone ahead and built one of those as well. So line number 4 is the one that goes down to Fratton, Milton, and then Langston, and eventually actually ends up at the bottom of Southsea. And this is actually a second interchange where you can get off here and walk around, and you can pick up this this train and actually go back up to Gun Wharf without actually having to go all the way around Langston and back around. So I've gone ahead and done that in that way. Number 3 is the one that, oh yeah, it literally just goes to here, and you can pick up another train from here. So you get off here, you change trains, and you can then go further on. You can either go down here to Milton, or you can go north up here, which eventually ends up in North End up this way. Again, here you can get off, and you can either use the metro, or you can change to this route, and you can go across and back down to Gun Wharf without having to go all the way back around the same way you just came. So I've tried to make it sort of quite easy access kind of routes, kind of sort of structure. Easy access really. I built some boats in Portsmouth Harbour. I don't know if you can see any of the actual little yachts that are here. No, none of the yachts, but there's some luxury yachts and things like that. There we go. A couple of little small motor boats around just to emphasise that this is Portsmouth Harbour. And yeah, there we go. So for those of you who are watching on my Facebook page, this is probably the point to end, because I'm going to talk about my YouTube channel now. So for those on YouTube, would you like to see some City Skylines on my channel? I've thought about doing it for quite a while. Personally, I like to use real-world maps and then sort of build my own kind of thing. Sort of build my own structure here, as I've done here. I've used the real-world map that is Pompey, but I've sort of built my own highway. I've sort of built my own sort of how I would have Portsmouth, I guess, really, in a way. So yeah, this is how I would build Portsmouth. But would you guys like to see some City Skylines? Please bear in mind, I do have some of the mods, but I'm not able to actually run this game like a full 25 tile city. I can't build anything like that. And even with this city, as you can see, the FPS does drop a little bit, and some of this is actually water. But I've built a good 9 tiles here, and if anything, I may actually stick to the 9 tile limit. Unless you guys decide to recommend a map that's got lots of water and mountain, things like that. In that case, I'll open up the 25 spaces, and we'll see what we can do. But yeah, if you guys would like to see some City Skylines, then please let me know. I don't actually have the After Dark expansion just yet, but I do have the toggle night on and off thing. I've got a couple of the mods. I've got the traffic manager, I've got the AI, I've got some of the assets. I've not got all of them though. I quite generically like playing this game the way it was built, with a few extra assets. I've got some of the network extensions and things like that. So I've got a few of them, and of course some of the university buildings, some of the monuments and things, and some of the unique buildings I've gone and picked up. So I can do some bits like that, but for the most part I'd like to just be creative with what the game actually offers. I can't remember how you switch the night to on and off. I can't remember how you do that. I managed to do it at some point, but is it here? I don't think it's here. I think it's actually no, it's in the game. It's in the game's Right, there's city statistics. It's actually in the game options, I believe. Gameplay. Come on, gameplay. Well, that's not actually working, that tab. Look at that. Right, okay. For some reason that gameplay tab... Ah, there we go. Yeah, use day-night cycle. So that's actually... that actually does... I actually do have that. So... If you guys like to see Cities Skylines, please feel free to request it in the comments below. I probably won't be doing it till around November time. If you guys would like me to build a replica of your city, or at least use the map of your favourite city or country even, I could go ahead and just do a whole country and things like that. Please feel free to let me know. But this has been Cities Skylines and myself, Matt Tomato. This is Portsmouth in southern England. I hope you've enjoyed the tour, I hope you enjoyed my build, and hopefully you guys request Cities Skylines. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time for more from myself, Matt Tomato.